Let's get into Friday feedback for the week. Oh, so many things to discuss. Remember, if you'd like to have your comment, question, criticism, suggestion featured in Friday feedback, you can email info@davidpakman.com, or you can leave a comment on any of the other platforms where we publish our content. Sometimes we'll dig deep into the TikTok comments, the Facebook comments, and sometimes find some gems. Here is our first message today from the Barrel Knight, who says some therapists should be kind and come offer this demented channel free therapy because Lord knows you people need it. Well, you know what? If we had a functional healthcare system, we wouldn't need a therapist to come and offer the therapy for free. It would just be accessible and affordable to all. Yeah, you know, I'm not going to, I don't know that I need to delve too deeply into this. Suffice it to say, therapy is a logical suggestion to many of the messages I receive weekly in my inbox or see on YouTube from some of our more extreme followers. I'm very much pro-therapy. And if that message can remind anybody in the audience, hey, maybe therapy would be right for me, then well served moment on the show. Terrence Hurley wrote in and said, I mean this gently out of curiosity, not condescending means. Are you wearing a hearing aid? Or is that just a high-end custom earpiece for your recordings? Oh, so people might be referring to this thing over in my right ear. This is how I hear the clips on the show and the callers. If I were to use big headphones, I think it would just take up so much space on camera that would be weird. I just don't like the huge earmuff headphone look. And if I were to listen to the clips out of a speaker, a physical speaker, my microphone would then pick up the audio. It would create an absolutely toxic feedback loop like at some of Trump's rallies, and I don't want to do that to anybody.
But I think, Eric, they're not like they lived up. I used to check it every week. Are they buying? Are they buying?
I respect everybody too much to do that.
Deal that included the largest agricultural worth of our farm product.
Okay, so we're keeping Antifa away from our audio, as often happens at Trump rallies. It is a very high-end earpiece. It's from Switzerland. It's a beautiful earpiece, and I love it. All right, let's get into some more things. Soulless Wolf wrote, I'm a progressive, and honestly, I'm still excited for voting for Joe Biden in 2024. Wish we could have Bernie, but the threat of fascism is too dangerous to play with right now. Yeah, listen, you know, we all have much more in our lives, hopefully anyway. Some of the people who email me maybe don't, but we all have much more in our lives than just like, who's the president, okay? So the way I see it, we need to prevent fascistic, authoritarian dictator wannabes from becoming president. That means no Trump, no DeSanctimonious, or whoever else it would be. And to the extent that we need to prevent that, it seems to me that voting for Joe Biden right now seems like the most logical step. Voting for Cornel West, writing in Cornel West or whatever, it seems like it could only make it more likely that Trump becomes president. And so I'm glad to see this. And I do think most of my audience gets it. And it's a point that no doubt I will be making again between now and November of 2024. Space Force Commander wrote in saying Republican Party of Personal Responsibility Playbook. Number 1, accept no responsibility. True. Number 2, blame others. Absolutely. And number 3, steal credit for someone else's work. Reminds me of a certain failed former president. And it really has become.
Whoa. These people don't know what the hell they're doing.
I actually don't know where that came from. More Trump audio trouble. Remember, they have their stated principles and they very quickly abandon them when it's no longer convenient or politically expedient. Studio DSR writes, support whomever your favorite candidate is during the primaries. But after the primaries are over, we all must set our differences aside and rally behind the nominee. And let's not kid ourselves, it's going to be Biden. To refuse to support the nominee in the general is childish and self-centered, the equivalent of taking your ball and going home. We all have to be adults here, take our lumps, and do what's needed to defeat the real enemies of democracy, Trump and his minions. You know, this is a very good point. Some of you who follow me on X, the former Twitter, or on Threads or elsewhere, saw that I announced that I am now officially under contract and writing a nonfiction book for adults, not a kid's book. And one of the things that already in my early writing and planning of the book that I'm not struggling with, but having to deal with is, of course, the assault on America's democracy is going to be in the book. It's a major story of 21st century American politics. But the question is, to what degree do I need to know how the story ends in order to complete the book? And while the story of history never ends, knowing who wins in November of 2024 is a big piece of this. And Studio DSR is right about setting our differences within the left aside. I'm scared of how the story ends, and hopefully we'll have more information about that before I'm done writing my book at minimum, so at least it can tell close to the complete story. Dude What wrote on our subreddit, this is interesting. Dude What wrote, Trump was the president we needed. Hear me out. Trump did what he said he would and shook things up. He got more people to pay attention to politics, especially the younger ones. He's so awful that it kickstarted the next revolution. We are going to wake up in 2029 after Biden's second term to a lot of the change we thought Obama was going to bring. We will wake up again in 2032 with a Republican Party that has finally mostly shed its extreme flank. The Democratic Party will consist of more progressives. The Overton window will finally have shifted left. Trump was not a good president. He was not who we wanted, but he was who we needed to finally inspire true change. At least I hope so. This is a very optimistic interpretation. I think there is another side to it. The other side is, look at the Supreme Court that now will be right-wing nuttery, potentially for a generation. That's because Trump defeated Hillary Clinton and picked 3 Supreme Court justices. They repealed Roe v. Wade, and look at all the other damage the Supreme Court did. The damage to America's reputation around the world, to some degree, has been repaired by Biden, but not completely. And it's going to take a very long time to fix that. In the same way that many people got involved in politics because of the insanity of Trump, lots of people also became so disaffected by politics that they have opted out. And so I think it's a very interesting perspective to say Trump's presidency, while disastrous, inspired so much activism and engagement. It also is not totally the case. High voter turnout, yes, but still almost half of the country choosing not to vote. So I think there's 2 sides to that story. I think it's very interesting, but I think there are 2 sides to it. Connie commented on Facebook, so have they taken the guns from sound-minded citizens yet? They're coming for your guns. Yeah, we've heard that for 30 years. Still hasn't happened. My bet is the 2-beer drama will still be a Republican fantasy in 30 years. And James added, guns, gas stoves, and now beer. Yeah, of course. Connie and James are correctly pointing out, this is the rinse-repeat Republican fear-mongering. They're coming for your guns. They're coming for your guns. They still haven't come for your guns. They've been saying it for how long? Columbine, before then, they haven't come for the guns. We briefly had an assault weapons ban. Great. They're coming for your gas stoves. They came for mine, but that's because I called and said, please pick this thing up. I'm switching to an induction stove. But that's a different story. And then now, Joe Biden wants to limit you to 2 beers. They have no policy. They've failed to win the hearts and minds of voters on an increasingly large number of issues. So they go to fear-mongering. Remember that right-wingers have larger fear centers in their brains. They react to fear-mongering much more than we on the left. And so that's why they're doing it. Human Being for America commenting on YouTube and says, Trump 2024, stop hating the only person alive who can save our country, our children, and the embodiment of the American dream. Presented without comment and without punctuation, because that's the way it was written. No, there are people, they call in, they write to me, they say stuff like this, who truly believe Donald Trump is the only person who can save the world. To those people, I say, what are you drinking? What are you smoking? I don't know what else I would say to them. It'd probably be tough to have conversations with them. How do you deprogram that? Truly, how do you deprogram that? I don't know the answer. We have a tremendous bonus show for you today. Sign up at joinpakman.com. Get a discount. Use the code 4 years, 4 indictments. Get the bonus show, the commercial-free audio feed, the commercial-free video feed, the members-only soundboard, invitations to the members-only town hall events, and so much more. JoinPakman.com is the place to do it. Prices have been flat for a decade. They go up when the new website launches. Take advantage. Sign up today. Lock in a decade ago's prices for life before those prices go up. Very modestly, I should add. All right. Still, I'll see you on the bonus show.